because I'm really passionate about helping people feel good about themselves. And for me, when my diet is on track and I'm exercising regularly and I feel good about my weight, my whole life just goes better. And it wasn't always like that. When I was a teenager, I was anorexic and then I was bulimic for 12 years. So I really understand the struggles that women go through dealing with trying to get healthier and eat better and take care of ourselves better. And what I see with my clients is that when they start taking care of themselves, whole other areas of their lives go better too. So we all know the benefits of being healthy, so why aren't we prioritizing our health? Why aren't we taking care of ourselves better? Why do we even need a health coach?
Just a little tip when you want to give up a habit is that it's most effective if you replace a behavior with another behavior instead of just giving up the habit completely and leaving a void, because the body does not like voids. That's why one of my clients, John, when he goes to work, he had an issue with the chocolate in the lobby of his work, and he wanted to give that up. So instead of just saying, I'm not going to have any chocolate, he brings things that he can eat instead, so he doesn't leave a void. He actually, for himself, it was bars, protein bars, certain protein bar. It actually had a little chocolate on it, but it was so much better than the chocolate that he just ate mindlessly, and bananas, and that worked so much better for him. So he, instead of leaving a void, he made sure he had something for him to eat instead. Now, I want to talk a little bit more about the anatomy of a habit, because I really believe that if we understand how habits, what they're made up of, they won't be controlled by them as much. So, every habit will come to you in 3 parts: a cue, an action, and a reward. The cue is the trigger that gets you to do the habit. The action is the actual habit, and the reward is what you're getting from the habit. So, we as normal people, the first thing we think of when we want to give up a habit is we look at the action. I gotta stop doing it. I gotta go to the gym. I gotta not eat chocolate. We look at the action, but actually researchers have found that if you look at the cue and really be aware of what's cueing you, what's triggering you, or the reward, what are you getting, what are you wanting from this habit, that you can be even more successful in changing. So, for example, if I were to use that coffee shop example again in terms of the cue could have been, well, I'm having coffee, so I want a pastry. That's your cue, having the coffee. Or it could be, it's 8 a.m., so I want a pastry. Only you know what cues you for your habits, but we aren't always wanting to do our habits 24/7. That's addiction, and that's different. Habits occur usually because there's a certain place, certain person we're with, a certain feeling we're getting. I heard this story about Dr. Phil, and he used to come home after work and he'd park in the garage and then he'd walk into the house through the kitchen door. So he'd go from the garage into the kitchen, and because he was in the kitchen, he was cued visually by all these foods, and he would start snacking even though he wasn't really hungry. So what he did was he wanted to stop that. He parked in the garage, but he walked through, believe it or not, the front door. And he bypassed the kitchen completely and all those triggers and changed and didn't eat till dinner. And he actually lost 25 pounds just by that little tweak. I had a woman who called me for help because she just started working at a new job. And she had gained weight because of the restaurants and the vending machine in the area of her new job. And so she started bringing her own food to work and her own snacks. And she lost 5 pounds like that, which got her so excited that she started working out. And the last time I talked to her, she was training for a 5K with her new colleagues. Now all these examples I've given you, they're really small and simple, right? It's not brain surgery. And even I'm a control freak anyway, but I do try to take control of my environment as much as I can by putting things foods in my house that might not be as healthy far up in the cupboard and back, so I don't see them, because visual cues are so powerful. And then in the kitchen I put out so that I see healthy foods, and in the refrigerator, healthy foods. Because researchers did a study where they took this bowl of candy it was a clear glass bowl, and they put it on participants' desks, and they counted how many candies that they'd eaten that day. And the next day they put a bowl of candy on participants' desks instead. And then they counted how many candies the participants ate out of the bowl of candy that they couldn't see through, and they ate far fewer candies when they couldn't see the candies, even though the candies were right in the same place. And then the researchers took the bowl and put it 6 feet away, and folks ate even fewer candies because in that moment of having to, I don't think I want a candy, they engaged their thinking because they had to get up and walk over there. So making it a little more difficult will engage your thinking brain and stop you from being on automatic pilot. So using what I've talked about today, you can overcome it and nurture a new healthy habit. Thank you very much.